Hi folks, Ray Daniels here from Ray White, Golden Beach. It's been a couple of months since I've done one of these suburb reports as a video, but I think it's probably about time I did one. I've had a few people asking me about what's happening with the property market. Obviously the media has been full of gloom about what's happening with the market and rising interest rates and dropping sale prices, all those sorts of things. So I think, in my view anyway, is that in the last couple of years, nobody has lived through what we've gone through before as far as the property market goes. And in Golden Beach, for example, we've seen a 53% rise in sale prices in the past 18 months. Nobody has experienced that before. So as we're talking about how does that correct, well, nobody's lived through that before either. So we don't actually know what's going to happen. That is the absolute bottom line truth. Do we see a correction that is a plummet in prices by 40%? Do we just see a flattening of prices over the next few years? We don't know. That's as simple as that. What we do know is what is happening now is at the beginning of April, when we were moving in towards the federal election, the market began to slow down because of the federal election, which is normal. It's normal practice. There is some uncertainty for some people about the future, and they're not sure, so they just put their brakes on any lifestyle changes to see, waiting for the election, and then the next day the sun shines and we're back to life again. Just prior to the election, we did have that interest rate rise, which did affect some people. How that affects, it's not just the interest rate rise as well that affects buyers. There's also the fact that the banks do also add a couple more hoops for buyers to jump through. There are other rules that they need to meet to get loans. The banks change their criteria, they change their lending range, all sorts of things. So it's not just interest rates, there are other factors in there as well. But in our perspective here in Golden Beach, I think we can say that we initially have been protected from that a wee bit. We do know that we haven't seen a continue of sale prices since probably March. We know this because we were seeing properties hit the market with prices on them that were above market value. You know, a neighbour's house sold for 1 million and they'd go on the market for 1.1, and they were identical houses. And you think, oh gee, that's ambitious, and then they would sell. Or we would put a property to auction where we expected to get 900,000 and they'd go for 1.1 or 1.2. That is what happens when you have a rising market. What we've now seen is a number of properties, and there are a number of properties here in Golden Beach that have remained on the market now for twice as long as the median time to sell a property in the last 12 months here in Golden Beach. So where it was 30 days in Golden Beach to sell a house normally, we're now seeing houses on the market for 60, 80 days. That is a very clear indicator that the market has stopped to climb. Those sellers that are digging their heels in and saying, no, we're not going to sell unless we get this amount of money, they're finding themselves still on the market. So that is pretty much how we're reading that the market is flattened off. Other than that, the buyer pool is still out there. It's changed a little bit, but not a great deal. We are seeing some activity reduced down as far as the inquiry levels go on some properties, and even the open home times where we were getting 30 people through to open homes, that's reducing down a little bit. What that really means is that the fringe buyers that were out there, and in reality were not buyers anyway, they're generally the ones that are starting to look at the market, they're doing some research in the market, that sort of stuff. They're the people that have fallen away because they're now having to relook at their circumstances. But the buyers, the active buyers that are buying now, they're still there. They're still out there. The change that we're seeing on a seller's perspective is because properties are not selling as quickly as they were. We're seeing more properties on the market, and therefore a buyer has more properties to choose from. So they come to the market, an open home on a Saturday, and instead of looking at 2 or 3 houses, they can look at 6. That kind of a scenario. They're starting to ask questions, why that property around the corner is still on the market, what's wrong with it? That's the sort of a thing that we're experiencing. So as a seller, it's more important that things are done properly up front, so that you are sold quicker, more so than just sitting there on the market. But anyway, the long story is we're not seeing a massive change at this stage. Most likely it's more of a flattening. I hope that our correction that we're going to see here in this end of the Sunshine Coast is going to be a flattening of pricing more so than a downward curve. Only time will tell. But the bottom line is, if you have been considering selling, the market is flattening off, and you may want to do that sooner rather than later. We are here to answer any questions that you may have about the market. We can't forecast too much because we don't know, but we can certainly tell you what is happening now. At the end of this video, I will put a slide up just with a graph of what's been happening in the market here in the last several months, and a list of some of the houses' sales prices, so you can see what's been going on. Feel free to give us a call. My number is 0408 819 276, or pop into our office here at 62 Lesper Parade in Golden Beach. Hope you have a good winter, everybody. Stay warm, enjoy this wonderful weather I hope we continue to get, and we'll see you around there one day at all. Bye for now.